The show features adults using adult language and discussing mature topics. You have been warned.
Yeah, we're live.
Welcome back, everyone. We are
some of us.
back in the Mystery of the Silver Fleet. Not all of us, but some of us are here. There'll be a little less intense combat than I intended, but I can scale it down. So those of you who are just tuning in, last week, the party landed in the Haunted Ring World's hangar and found out that the place is infected with ghosts, a very large number of them for some strange reason. And all of them are people who used to live in the city. And it looks like something is keeping them there, some kind of radio wave or something. There's some kind of disturbance coming from the central tower that's causing all the ghosts to still be there. The party figured that out after having fought their way through some pretty nasty level of ghosts. There was a bit of a few tragedies, but they managed to get their way past it. And they're now in the city streets, finally, after having just fought past the last group of seemingly noble ghosts. And this is the entertainment district, so there is a lot of, say, clubs and bars and food carts and all sorts of other things around here. You'd expect there to be millions of people since the city is big enough to populate approximately 20 billion people, give or take, of course. But you don't see anyone. Ghosts, of course, there's tons of those, but not too many life signs. You know, there was two the party found. And after having met the AI overseer that was in charge of the city, they managed to, with overseer's assistance, track down where some of the two life forms are coming from. Several party members think that maybe some of these life forms may need some help. I think we're about to find out if they were true or not. So, we left off with the party just arriving in the entertainment district. As I described, you see quite a large number of different means of entertaining yourself. There's a lot of other things in this district as well. You notice for an entertainment district, there's a lot of body modification stuff here. A lot of it says offline, the doctor is not in, but there's a lot of like genetic modification facilities, cyber augmentations, all sorts of stuff that you possibly could get or purchase in this district.
Quick question. I'm assuming then the legality of gene modification is pretty, allowed. Yeah.
Okay. In some empires, no.
Yeah, which makes sense.
In the Elven Empire, they're all about not doing that. They believe themselves already superior, so you can't get any better than they already are. So they outlawed all of it. The humans don't care. Humans have a pretty a pretty laissez-faire attitude towards genetic modifications. They're like, we cared a long time ago. We just don't anymore. So it's pretty open in most of the human verses, which is why it's open here, because you're real close to the Lekshayan Empire. Mm-hmm. It's also... it's kind of permitted in the Dwarven Empire, but it's restricted in what they're allowed to do. The dwarves can modify themselves and making themselves a little better, but they still have to look dwarven. So the dwarves aren't allowed to modify their appearance in too many ways, but many of them have taken that in the liberty of, oh, I'm still going to have blue skin or permanently pink hair as a genetic trait.
Actually, us dwarves are very progressive. We actually allow our women to trim their beards now.
Yeah. So, as far as genetic modifications go, yeah, it's less taboo in this particular part of the verse. Oh, I can't forget the Avinra. The Avinra are totally against it. They believe it to be an abomination in the eyes of their almighty son.
What is it called? The Suffolker or something?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Anyway,
Theological jargon.
Yeah, religious bullshit.
Yep. That's what the rest of the verse sees it as, yeah. But their empire is rather large and they have very deadly weapons, so nobody really screws with them too much, despite their disagreements with their belief. But yes, no. In this particular part of the verse, it's a bit open. The humans are very big on gene splicing, which is like allowing genes from different species or different types of creatures or even alien plant life to possibly be merged with human DNA. This facility has apparently labs that can do that, as you see lots of like signs advertising, sick of who you are, be someone else kind of stuff. You see videos and stuff playing up on some of the screens as well, the different like billboards and stuff displaying like ads. And it's like people turning into cat people and, all sorts of different sorts of odd genetic modifications.
Even if anyone was interested, is there anyone around to perform such things, or?
You notice one of the nearby labs that has that, like, because you kind of came up and like off to the side of what would have been a busy street, you think, because it's a pretty large road. Some of the auto cars and stuff are all just kind of stopped all around. So the cars that drive themselves, because we're not going to let people do that. That's crazy. The cars drive themselves all are kind of just stopped everywhere in the road. There's a billboard next to one of the labs and it says sign up today. And then right at the bottom, it says disclaimer. The doctor is currently out.
Interesting place.
It does list a particular doctor, though. All of the signs in the entire city, you notice, all list one doctor.
Dr. Smorgasbord.
No, Dr. Tepish.
Well, we should go find that other sign of life.
I agree.
Okay, you know that there's two. One in the center tower that you're heading to anyway, and another one that's traveling in the street somewhere.
We agree,
Yeah,
don't you know, says the rest of the party.
Yeah.
We just lift the cardboard up and down when they talk.
They're little popsicle puppets.
Yes, they're just South Park puppets. But yeah, I think we were going to go for the moving one first because we're going to the other one anyway. So
right. Okay. Butler currently has a butler robot, I should say. I said that backwards. Overseer currently has a butler robot following you. And he's been telling you using the scanners from one of your ships to tell you where the life sign is. And it's difficult to track them at this point. You've moved far away from where the scanners are capable of penetrating into the city's interior. It apparently seems as though, and I do apologize, I can't give you a better direction, somewhere that way. And the droid points a direction.
Well, I guess onwards.
I do apologize. I wish I could give you better directions, but as I stated, whatever is wrong with them is making them phase in and out of existence. It makes them a bit difficult to track.
It's fine.
Okay. You travel that direction, heading through the maze of city streets and all sorts of other odd occurrences. You see a lot of other laboratories and such here. As you're passing along some of the different places, there's a VR store that catches... Lost my train of thought here. Which party member was that?
VR.
Yeah, what's Sage's character's name? I just brain fart.
Zora.
Zora.
Zora, yeah, sorry. Zora. That catches Zora's attention, and Zora goes in there.
I send Mimas to follow just to make sure he's safe. Apparently Mimas meows like a cat.
Oh.
I'm gonna go take care of the cat.
And you continue kind of like moving that direction, and it becomes a real confusing maze of streets and alleys and sidewalks and all sorts of other odd things that you're attempting to navigate.
Man,
Pretty difficult.
Am I glad that there's no cars around?
Or people, because if there were people here, this would be really hard to navigate.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of these streets are not big, kind of small.
What's in the VR place?
The VR place has similar VR equipment to the VR headset you frequently see Zora constantly using every now and then. Like whenever you're not paying attention or Zora's not involved in conversation, Zora will just kind of go like this. You just put the VR headset on and use it for a little while and then turn it off. You know, this particular VR headset is known for its addictive use. People who use them have a tendency to addictively use them because using them feels better than reality.
Oh, hey, it's that thing from, what game was it?
Batman Beyond.
No, it wasn't even Batman Beyond.
Shadowrun.
No, not even Shadowrun. It was a, was it? It was from a mystery game.
Shadowrun.
Heavy Rain.
No, I'm kidding.
Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain. They had the guy who had the VR thing.
Yeah.
And the whole thing of that, his story is he gets really addicted to it.
It's in Shadowrun too. It's actually a drug in Shadowrun. It's called the drug. It functions like one. It's not a drug, actually. It's just a VR headset. But people become addicted to using them. And that's similar principle here.
Mm-hmm. Reality sucks. Don't blame them.
Yeah, that's true.
Fair.
Looks outside. Yep. Mhm.
This is fine.
Deborah casts Fireball in the VR place. No, I'm kidding.
Kill Sage's
wishes.
character while Sage is nowhere even close.
She wishes she had Fireball spell. No.
All right. Zora seems just distracted as if nothing else really mattered. And you hear Zora say something along the lines of, "I'll catch up."
Okay.
And just kind of buggers off into the VR store to pillage it for what it's worth.
Do Nox and then Nox probably joins, and Noelle's like, "I'm busy calibrating."
Yeah, Noelle is actually still patrolling in space.
Yeah, Noelle's on her ship.
Hasn't parked yet.
That's right.
She's worried something else is coming.
I mean, that's fair. Also, it's not like she's flying one of the bigger ships. She's flying a fighter. She could probably land on the street and be fine.
There's a lot of places for fighters to land. You know that this particular ring world has solar-powered fighters that can patrol and defend the facility, but can't leave the radius of the sun's light. So they're limited to where they can go, but they're pretty much like fighter craft. It has its own small fleet of fighters, but they only function around the yellow sun.
Why don't we use one of those to get there?
Sun. And you continue moving through the streets. The maze of streets, as I stated, seems confusing and rather disorienting, but not too terribly so, since there's no people here or cars moving. As the cars are all parked in the streets, it makes it a bit awkward, but you can still negotiate around or between them.
Just jump over them.
You notice there's still quite a large number of ghosts just appearing and disappearing, doing random things throughout the city. The first few times this happens, even up here, it still startles the ever-loving crap out of you because they literally just appear, sometimes right next to you, within a few feet of where you're standing, and then do whatever they were doing or act like they're doing their lives before all this happened and disappear. All of them have the same kind of scars. All of them look like something clawed them to death.
Deborah, at this point, or at least the non-hostile ones, makes like weird meditative chirping noises, and she puts her hands on like a triangle thing, and like a little moon appears there. And she gets a third eye as I use one of my hexes called Knowing. And I gain advantage on insight checks against them. That's not really important. What's important is I can choose one of the 3 following pieces of information, and I just know it now. I can either know if it can speak a language, if it's below half its maximum hit points, or what its lowest ability score is. And I'm going to go with the last one.
The particular lady you were looking at, her lowest ability score is charisma.
Charisma, okay. All right, that's all I did. That was
Probably
just an action.
every time a ghost shows up, Talurra probably tenses just a little, like she was gonna punch it.
Yeah, it definitely gives that vibe off as you're moving through the streets. There's a strange sensation you all feel as you're moving through the streets too. Something feels off. You don't know what it is, and you can't really pinpoint what yet, if anything.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Something doesn't feel right. And as you move towards a large central street, the street seems seemingly empty. At least 6 cars on this street look as though something cut them to ribbons. They are on fire and looks like something just sliced them apart. Engine block, the car, the wheels, everything just looks like it was sliced to pieces. Now, I should say the wheels of these cars don't work like in the wheels we know in our world, where they roll around on the ground. These wheels are connected to tracks in the streets because the cars are all automated. They travel faster if they don't need to go anywhere else. So much like tiny buses, the cars of the city don't really belong to anyone. They just kind of take you where you need to go.
They're like taxis, but buses.
Yes. Like taxis and buses.
Tusses.
Mix of the two. So
just to make sure,
the ghosts.
There's like I know there's no bodies, but there's nothing like rapture kind of thing where their clothes are just sitting on the ground.
Nothing. No clothes either.
Okay.
Would it have been easy to tell how long ago this happened? Like, does this look recent, or was this?
I mean, there's a
the
fire.
damage
So
to these cars looks recent. Like recent. Like one of them throws out a giant wave of sparks through the air and catches fire as you approach. Like it's just like and just catches fire.
The Space Pinto.
Yeah, pretty much. Another butler comes over with Overseer's symbol on its chest and pulls out a fire extinguisher and starts putting out the fires. As several other robots begin cleaning some of the debris off the street.
Talurra is just going to start looking around to see if there's anything nearby.
And that weird sensation you felt, the one that feels off, like something is just wrong, it feels worse as you get onto this main roadway. You also notice there is not a single ghost anywhere on this street. This is the only street you have ever been on in the whole of this entire ring world so far that has had nothing on it.
A real bad feeling about this.
Can I go stealthy?
Computer ghost.
Overseer, if you must.
Overseer. How long ago did these events take place?
Judging from the damage to the cars and the last time I had communication with their track system, approximately 6 minutes ago. 7 for that one over there. That used to be a bus. He points to a pile of debris that you swear was several cars. You also hear a strange sound. It's like a buzzing noise that seems to change tone over and over again. Like
It's not, at least it's not the Friday the 13th noise.
No, yeah, not like that. Definitely not that noise.
All right, yeah, I'm also taking the thing from what Meriel's doing, and I'm going to also go stealth.
Stealthy as fuck.
There's a lot of places to hide on this street.
Going stealth.
Small
goes.
walls, food stands, all sorts
Yeah.
of things.
I got a 21.
Are you
Looks
going to
at-
keep moving or just kind of stop and wait?
I'd
Probably
keep-
moving closer, but stealthily is what Talurra's going to do.
Okay.
looks at the
I don't
dwarf
want to
in
stop
full
moving.
plate.
I just don't want to be seen doing it.
Yeah.
Got it.
I also got 21.
Hey, short
Eisen, are you stealthing or
Good
just
squad.
strolling in the middle of the road like a true dwarven warrior?
I'll just stick to whatever shadows are there, I guess.
Okay, you can give me a stealth check if you want. I think your armor makes it at disadvantage, though.
Picks up a street sign, just walks with that.
Don't mind me, I'm stealthing. Clank, 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 clank.
Yeah, pretty much.
What, your
The
armor's
dude.
made of metal? The sign's made of metal?
Just the doom
never
music
see
is
me.
continuing to follow you everywhere you walk.
BFG squad, 11.
Okay.
That's better than I thought you'd actually get, though.
I got a 6.
And Deborah is somehow louder than the dwarf in full
Full
armor.
plate.
Skittering on the metal plates.
Yeah.
Occasionally clicking loudly just for no explainable reason. She's like. Anyway,
Eating a bag of pretzels.
just
I was going to say
bent off
gummy
the cart.
bears. Just gummy bears.
The
Just
crunchiest potato chips.
crinkling.
And you hear something in the distance just over the hill that you're kind of walking up. And as you get to the crest of the hill, you will kind of take cover behind what was once a bus, but it's now literally a pile of debris that you see some of the droids and robots picking apart and trying to drag away to seemingly a garage or a salvage shop, maybe. You
If they
don't
manage to
know.
get that thing back together, that'd be impressive as all hell.
They're just kind of dragging it all off in one direction like a bunch of worker ants. As you're kind of hiding behind some of the debris, you peek around, and peeking around the corner of the debris, you notice a lone figure. And the figure seems to like shift and move to that buzzing sound, like its form is not stable. The best way I can describe this is, has anyone seen Ant-Man and Wasp?
Oh, yes.
Ghost.
Yep. The second you
Oh,
mentioned
it's
that,
phase
Mike, yep.
shifting.
What was that, Eisen?
So it's phase shifting.
Yeah, like phase shifting back and forth and not completely stable. The displacement spell would be a good example of what is currently seeing if you've ever seen someone use displacement or be displaced in a cartoon or
Hey,
video
look, a
game.
displacer beast. Hey, look, a
Kinda.
displacer beast.
Right, kind of like that, but definitely not that in the traditional sense. It doesn't look
Yeah.
constantly in one stance. It looks like it's in multiple
Shifting,
places
moving.
at once and shifting. And this particular figure is currently just ripping a car apart with a rather odd-looking plasma cutter. This plasma cutter looks way hotter and way brighter and way more dangerous than any plasma cutter you have ever seen. Eisen, you've seen a lot of plasma cutters. This plasma cutter is not doing what it's supposed to. It's way hotter.
The next time it tries to strike, how far away is it?
It is currently about 100 feet.
Okay, never mind. I'm
There's
definitely not
just the
getting closer.
one plasma cutter at Skathári.
You don't see any other weapons, just one very, very hot plasma cutter.
Okay, so it's not going to whip out 6 others then.
No, you don't think so.
Nice. Okay.
It's one
It's hard
plasma
to
cutter
tell
split
because
into
its
30
form is
plasma
not stable
cutters.
enough to get a good eye on it. But the armor it's wearing looks kind of like your kind of armor, the type of armor anyway. But somebody has done something weird to it. It's definitely modified pretty heavily. As the figure is kind of cutting away at the car that it's currently like slicing to pieces, you notice the plasma cutter seems to slice straight through the car like it's butter, like it's not even slowing down. Like full swing is just like that, is just like a slice straight through the car. You hear muttering, like someone talking kind of like to themselves, like very confusingly.
Is this the-
Even from this distance, you can hear it.
Just the moving life form that we've been detecting.
The overseer butler that's following you just nods.
Discernible what it's saying at all? Or is it just
Give me a perception check.
okay? 21?
21. Okay.
I got 16 for mine.
All right.
Let me see what I got. Perception is there. Okay. I got 12.
Eisen, you're attempting to perceive what it's saying.
I don't think I do with a 7. Mutter, mutter, mutter.
Right.
Sure sounds like mutter.
Yep.
You
Mutter,
just,
mutter,
you just
mutter.
see you just see the kanji behind it, just mutter, mutter, mutter,
Mutter,
mutter.
mutter, mutter. Yeah.
Butter, butter, butter. Here comes the butter. I don't know.
I think if anything, we're the butter if we get that thing. We get into a fight with that thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I sent you a message, Meryl. You're the only one that succeeded.
We're in danger.
That's so sad.
Okay. And with Deborah's stealth check,
Oh Lord.
I step on every twig that's not there.
gets a perception. I do notice it kind of like, and then stop. And slowly turn its head like that your direction and look right at Deborah.
Deborah hides behind a car.
And then in a mechanical voice, you hear, Meryl, you notice this is different than the muttering based on your perception. This is not the muttering, it's not the same voice. From the figure there, you hear only one word. And Scott, you can cue the music if you want to set the link I gave you in the chat there.
I totally have
This
that
is for
prepared.
everyone at home. I'm sorry I can't play this on the stream because it's copyrighted, but this is a theme song of this particular character. This is a enemy that has been in many of my campaigns before. I do hope you enjoyed this iteration. But you hear
Lord.
only one word. Thunder. In a very mechanical voice as it looks right at Deborah.
It's not the link I wanted to share. I'm sorry.
I say it's definitely not a link we can access either way.
There you go.
Oh yes, I love this song.
Me too.
This song's so good.
I can't play it, though. Everyone will just have to
Yeah.
imagine that we're playing the
Sorry.
Lady Maria's song in Bloodborne.
Yes. Those of you who are watching at home, go ahead and pop up Lady Maria from Bloodborne. The rest of us will be listening to it, but those of you at home can,
Exactly, Kitty Cat.
Enjoy
We're
the-
in danger.
Okay. If that wasn't already a sign, initiative.
Deborah
What?
chooses to die.
You feel as though something is preventing you.
Yeah, definitely. I got a dirty 20.
Oh, God.
Just in case you guys want to die, don't worry, you can't.
In case you wanted to die, there's plenty in front of you. Just roll them.
Haha.
In the chat and vocally for our initiative rolls.
Yeah. Yeah, you can just pop them in the chat if you want.
Okay, I'll also do that. Oh no!
Oh, God.
Can
I
everyone,
said why?
can everyone say their
Oh.
initiatives out loud so they know what we're talking about? What we're reacting
About
to?
ready to go into combat, and Eisen's like, that plasma torch looks really hot.
I got
Really hot.
I got 16.
I got 18.
Got dirty 20.
All right, it will go.
Eisen got a rock.
Deborah,
Yeah.
Talurra, Meriel, this weird figure that said Sunder,
The entire universe.
And then Eisen.
And then everything in between. And then Eisen.
No, I
doesn't want to do it.
I actually come after the heat death of the universe. So
That's what he gets to take his turn. In a couple million years, billion years, trillion. No. Anyway,
One day.
leading initiative.
Okay. Deborah's like, she clearly this thing's gonna be hostile and gonna attack. So she just reactionary, I would like to think, tries to do the shoots first kind of thing, and she chants as the moon cuts a circle around the earth, and as my eyes cut into the soul, so I cut this circle into my foe. As she casts Eldritch Orb, which is a attack roll. And there's like a moon-shaped silhouette, and then just goes a pew. Little moon orb fires at him. 18 to hit.
18 to hit. I do believe that hits.
Oh,
Let me
thank
bring
goodness.
it up.
Actually, it's not within 60 feet, is it?
Yes, 18 hits. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, it's 100 feet away. Sorry.
Okay, I ready that. And I'm fine with re-rolling or keeping it. I don't care either.
We'll keep it for now, and we'll just
Okay.
you ready the action. You already rolled it.
I rolled the damage, but I'll say it when that happens.
Got it. Okay.
That's it. That's all Deborah does.
Meriel. It's 100 feet away.
Isn't Talurra next?
Oh,
Next,
sorry.
yeah.
Talurra.
It's
read that
all
wrong.
good. It's all good. Yeah, no, Talurra is going to move 30 feet closer.
Okay, 70 feet away now.
Yeah, I'm just looking at my spells. Oh, perfect. And then I'll use Chill Touch on it.
Okay.
I have ranged abilities now.
So fancy.
I know, right? Honestly, I got it for one reason and one reason only. So 18, 19, 20.
So,
I'm assuming
like-
an 18 on the die hits. So
That shouldn't kill it, should it?
then it definitely shouldn't. It's a cantrip.
Okay. Because
I don't have leveled spells, so
I'll mention it on my turn in case it's a turn-based conversation.
It's not. Conversations can happen for free.
Okay, because I'm hearing things from this thing that contradict what it's doing. Something, I think it's a suit that it's wearing. Like something's in that thing trying to get out.
well, we should probably then try to get it out of the suit, but not let it kill us.
Right.
So is your spell targeting the suit?
Yes,
Or
the spell
the
will target
creature.
the suit.
Okay.
So
All right. You must
and
specify that.
I'm 26 to hit.
That's a hit. For sure.
I'm assuming that's going to hit because it's
Yeah, that's
18 on the die.
definitely a hit. Mm-hmm.
And then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think, one sec, let me check quickly. Oh, yeah. And then 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 23.
23 damage.
23 damage.
Okay.
And then I also get, due to me using a draining cantrip, I get 3 points of temp HP.
Nice.
Nice.
At least give me a tiniest of buffers.
Man,
And that'll
why
be my
does this
turn.
Calculator have to be so massive. Okay, Meriel, your turn.
Okay. It's what, 100 feet away?
Yes.
So I'll go move 30 feet forward and attempt to hit it with my repeater gun.
All right.
I can't get close enough to do any sort of like close range damage. 19 to hit.
That's a hit.
Okay. And then I need. And since I was sneaky before this, sneak attack?
Sneaky break.
Yep. You were technically hidden before the attack. Right.
16 points of radiant damage.
16.
16. And then I would like to. May I take a bonus action to hide again?
Sure. There's a lot of places to hide. I'm presuming you're damaging the suit.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't like the pleas of help from there. I don't want to hurt them.
So it's kind of all I'm getting now is what's it called? Half-Life 2 zombies.
Kind of. Maybe.
Yeah, the head crabs.
Yeah.
Oh God, help! Pitched down. Yeah. They actually say thank you sometimes, so.
Oops.
All right. Anything else, Meryl?
Think that'll do it.
Okay. Let's see. What was your hide check?
It was. Where the hell did my dice go? $27.
27. Okay.
Move, Scotty, move.
You don't suspect it sees you. At this point, you think it doesn't know where you're hiding.
I love the phrasing. Okay.
Okay. And what seems to be a blur of motion, almost like you can't quite tell that it was moving. It moves towards Talurra at a speed that you weren't sure was possible for a suit of armor this industrial. It almost in an instant closes the 70-foot gap between them, as if a flutter of mist moved, but you clearly see footsteps.
Excuse me.
You don't have any weapons in your hand, do you, Talurra?
Nope.
Okay. It swings its plasma cutter at one of your arms, specifically attempting to cut your arm off. Does a 27 hit you?
No, totally not.
Oh, that's a pity.
Yes, it 100%. It beats my thing by almost 10 AC. Actually, over 20. I know.
You need to give me a Constitution save.
All right. That is a 19 plus 3, so 22.
You, with great effort, managed to roll and move in a way to keep your arm mostly intact. It hurts a lot, and one more strike like that to your arm will probably cut it off.
So probably just like hanging limply.
Yeah.
Any blood? Or assuming it cauterized that
It
pretty well,
cauterized it instantly.
Oof.
You take 7 fire damage.
Okay. That's not as bad. 7 minus 3, so that is 4 damage.
See, this thing doesn't want to fight. It's just trying to disarm us.
Oh, if it takes out both arms, I still have 3 other limbs I can use to beat it to death with.
The verse.
Yes.
I readied that cantrip, so does it go off?
Yes.
Okay. Then they take a whopping 9 force damage.
Are you targeting the suit?
I'll be targeting the suit.
At this point, I will allow you to change your target. Huh?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay.
Just because I see everybody else attacking that.
Okay. What was the damage?
9 force damage.
9.
9 force damage.
9.
Nani?
All right. Let's see. And it had to move, so Yeah, you know what? It's going to do that too. Give me a strength save, Talurra.
All
Before
right.
that, charisma save. That's use my reaction.
Actually, I think you're gonna have an advantage with the benefit of
You
this.
fell into my trap card.
No, not yet.
Or wait,
Oh
is it
fuck
charisma?
yes!
Yeah, wisdom.
I got a nat 20.
No, not on you.
Oh,
on, the,
yay.
on the suit.
Oh. So do I have to? I was thinking the strength save there.
You pass. It attempts to kick you, and it strikes you with a force of its foot that feels like a sledgehammer feels just like Eisen's rocket-powered sledgehammer. Instead of going cascading backwards like something just rocketed you, you only slide backwards 10 feet and keep your balance. So you don't end up prone, but it just like kicks you square in the chest with just a thunderous force.
Just one arm hanging down, just to
And you hear the suit itself go, useless.
Sure.
Okay, Eisen.
Oh, I think Scotty was saying something too.
Oh,
For-
sorry. What were you doing, Scotty?
It's already too late. I was saying it needed a
What?
wisdom save
Oh,
before
sorry.
it did anything.
Before it did anything? Oh, whoops. It fails. What would have happened?
I cast intrusive thought, so instead of using its attack action, I make it use a dash action instead.
Where is it dashing to, I guess?
That would be up to you.
Okay.
Pretty much, if it's taking... let me read the spell exactly. As a reaction, when a creature you see within range, 60 feet, takes an attack, dash, dodge, or disengage action, you can attempt to distort its thinking. It must make a wisdom saving throw, and on a failed save, and instead takes your choice of one of those actions.
All right, I'm going to say, where do you want it to run?
Sideways.
Okay.
And because because it's moving, would Talurra get attack of opportunity?
So this is the tricky thing with the wording of attack of opportunities.
I would say it's not moving against. I think it's moving against its will. I would say.
I think if it very clearly says of its own accord.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
think
not
that's
moving of its own accord. It wants
Yeah.
to kick you.
It wants to kick me. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
all right, it
that's the
doesn't kick
unfortunate
you.
thing, 'cause
I'll
there are
rescind.
There
I
are
will
certain things
rescind
that
that it never happened.
Yeah.
That was my second.
You
My
think that it
last.
has a deadly kick attack. That's what your guess is.
Mhm.
But it seems to dash away from you suddenly. You see some sort of like magical effect hit it.
I like to think it was like starting to kick, and then it just like pivots on its heel, and then uses that kick as like a step, and just moves.
Okay.
It's a weird spell, I know, but it's one of the witch
Eisen,
spells.
your turn.
I'm actually my turn now.
Yeah, sorry.
Yep.
the
30
universe
years
wipes.
later.
He's
The
already
universe
dead.
has
He
ended.
died
It's
of old
entire
age,
turn.
just so you know.
Okay. Dwarfs are still fine then.
Or the
Yeah.
elves and the bug person.
Right.
I can't live that long.
It's true, you did lose 40 years, so.
Mhm.
All right. So how far did it dash away?
Whatever its move is.
Using Pythagorean's theorem, from your particular location, it's currently approximately 65 feet.
Sorry.
Well, that's fine. I'll let loose with my shoulder cannon at it.
All right.
Sound like War Machine.
18.
So anyway, they started blasting. 18?
Yep,
18 hits.
$18 damage.
18 damage. Okay.
And then I will take aim with my rifle. Take a shot at these are both attacking the suit.
Okay.
22 to hit.
That definitely hits.
And that would be 7 more damage.
Okay.
How far is Talurra away?
Talurra from you is 30 feet.
I guess I will dwarven stubble up there to 25 feet towards her.
Okay. All right, you hear a loud clang as Eisen is 5 feet behind you.
That'll be it.
All right, leading initiative. Deborah.
Let's see. I'm out of second level spell slots, so I'm gonna have to upcast this. But she says, "Wish I might that I cast this pale moonlight. If this creature can transform, then reveal this being's true form." As I cast Moonbeam on it. It needs a con save.
All right. Okay.
Fucking Hammer of Dawn, this motherfucker.
Oh, that was a reference to Green Lantern.
eight.
Oath.
Oh yeah.
Yep. 18.
18 passes, so it only takes half of this
Okay.
radiant
That
damage.
Moonbeam always to me is
Yes?
Yeah.
No,
Go
I
ahead.
mean, no, you were going to say something, Bex?
Oh, I just said what was the damage?
Oh. Holy crap, I rolled 3 9s, so
Nice.
oh,
half of
here
27.
comes the pain.
Nice.
23 or not 23, 13.
I was about
I
to
can
say.
math, I promise.
And then,
Okay.
can Deborah do anything as a bonus? I don't think she can. Yeah, she's done.
Talurra.
All right, so one arm hanging down. Talurra watches the person run away. Okay, and is going to close again. This time with her good arm.
I got
the attack. She's closing, and then
I got bad news. There's a
What?
beam of moonlight in the way.
true. Okay, though she'll. How big is that beam?
Oh, no, it's a 5-foot radius.
It's
Ah.
just over top of the creature.
So I'll say it's
You can
like,
still attack it.
so I'll
I
say
can
it's
still
like,
punch it in the head.
yeah, I'll say it's at an angle you could get up to it. Yeah.
I mean, isn't it straight up and down?
It's you can
Moonbeam?
still hit the creature. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's gonna close and just drop her shoulder and just hopefully drop this thing. Hit the She's gonna hit the suit.
Okay.
Also, for this one, I'm gonna use Arcane Surge.
All right.
Actually, I think I even I can decide this before I hit, after I hit too. Yeah, so I can choose after it's hit too. That's a really nice thing. I just can't do it on a crit, which is the nice thing, because it's how the Paladin's smite should be. All right, 15 plus 22 to hit,
That's definitely a hit.
and this is going to be Caustic Blade. So
Ooh.
here's the next question. Do I beat its AC by 5?
You said how much to hit?
That would be 22.
Yes.
Oh, right. Oh, here comes. Wait, hold. Okay, so now
Beat
I
its AC
add
by 6 if that's means anything.
only 5. I need to know because
Okay.
5 is my break point for my striker ability, which is every time I hit above a 5 AC, I deal extra damage.
All right.
And then I'm also using my Warmage Edge, which actually no, I don't even do more. Yeah, I do more damage. Warmage Edge, which I add my damage die plus 5. Sorry, this is going to require a shit ton of math.
Such as D&D.
Yes. Oh boy. So I just
Lots
read
and lots of math.
on your
and
turn,
then
you deal
more
damage
math.
with a Warmage grant. You can deal twice the number of damage dice dealt by the spell. Oh, and this is why they don't let you do it on a crit, because this would just crush an enemy.
Well, yeah, definitely.
So 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 39, 40. 40 damage.
Oh, okay.
And Oh wait, hold on. Oh yeah, and then also so 40 damage, and then also it loses for the next attack because I'm using my acid attack here. It loses 1 AC for the next attack it's receiving. Because I
Okay.
have corrosive cantrip.
Nice. Just in time for Meriel's turn.
Perfect. So, since there's that beautiful moonbeam, I'm going to not get too close.
I mean, you don't need to worry about the moonbeam. It's only in its square.
Yep.
Yeah, as long as you're not trying to hug it, you're probably fine.
Shooting it seems to work pretty well, though.
Yeah.
18 to hit.
That is definitely a hit now that its AC is a little bit lower.
It's only for that attack, though. So now
Right.
it's back to normal. Just for a note. I wanted that clear.
$16 radiant damage, and I'm gonna hide again.
Classic rogue.
Okay.
One of the benefits of being rogue.
Yep.
That'll be 24.
Nice.
Almost as funny as 25.
Awesome. All right. Well, the only person still engaged in melee with it is Talurra. So guess who gets attacked again?
Whoop whoop. I am just getting the shit kicked out of me in this
Yeah,
place.
this city has not been good to you.
Sorry, I've run out of reaction spell slots.
Most of that is Talurra's own damn fault because she's only melee.
Does a 13 hit you?
No, it does not.
I'm presuming a 29 does, though.
Yes.
All right. One of its attacks misses you. The other one doesn't.
Oof.
You take 11 fire damage. Again, to that same arm. It looks pretty messed up.
I might need
Your
to sew
arm
it
is-
back together.
Yeah, your arm is pretty fucked looking right now.
Yeah. It's probably
Uh,
barely hanging on.
Yeah, it's broken in multiple places. Several bones have been cut through. It's pretty nasty looking. It's like dangling and cut open in several places. They're cauterized, so it's not bleeding, but it looks awful. And the
Talurra is probably so high on adrenaline right now.
the horrible stench of burnt flesh is just permeating the whole area around you, and it's your flesh that's burnt, of course. And you need to give me another strength save. Well, in this case, the first strength save, since the last one didn't happen.
That one is a 19.
Okay, you succeed, and you only move back 10 feet. It
So
kicks you
indeed.
square in the chest. You take 10 damage,
Jesus.
and you move back 10 feet.
All
You
right.
feel like if you hadn't resisted that kick easily could have thrown you 20 feet backwards. Just for reference of how strong that kick was. And that was its turn. You notice it did not mutter useless that time. Even though it didn't say it the first time, because that never happened. Messing with time is really weird. It's your turn, Eisen.
Are you done with the wibbly wobbly timey whammy?
Yes.
Okay.
Wibbly wobbly timey-wimey has normalized.
All right. And I will let loose with another cannon and rifle barrage.
All right.
$17 to hit.
Hit. Its AC is 16. You figured out.
I'll take 15 radiant from the cannon.
Oh, your second attack is unimportant. You hear a loud. The entire figure immediately stops, like shifting and phasing. And you notice the suit sort of like start breaking off in parts and just falls off of a rather scared-looking scientist. It's over? Oh man. That was crazy.
Now cast Fireball.
Thank you so much for getting me out of there. He starts taking off parts of the armor that didn't fall off. I really probably shouldn't have done that, but you know what? We were under attack. I thought it was a good idea. Really should have read the directions on that thing.
Deborah's moving up to Talurra. And you notice the shadow limbs come out with a needle and thread. Looking at your shoulder.
I'm fine.
No, you're not. Your arm's about to fall off.
Talurra, I'm fine. It's still attached. Let's keep moving.
I want to make sure it stays that way. I am the ship's doctor after all.
The scientist pulls out a syringe. Do you want a stim pack? I got a couple.
Yes, that's way preferable to what she's about to do to me.
That looks painful. Whatever magic that is.
Talurra just kind of
I'm sorry. Introduction.
jams shoulder.
My
puts
name
it-
is Dr. Samson Under.
My name's Deborah. Over.
Is it a health potion or what is the stim pack?
Roll 2d6.
All right,
Times 12.
10. I got a 10.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Okay, you heal 10 hit points.
Sweet.
Also,
Yeah, I rolled-
because I'm rolling from the haunted effects table, the healing energy that is stabbed into you that starts to fuse your arm back together with weird tickling sensation. It releases strange black bile that runs down your arms, and it leaves a permanent scar in the places where the cuts were made into your
I mean,
arm.
Talurra was expecting there to be scarring no matter what there.
You know, you don't know if the scarring would have necessarily been there, but whatever effect just happened is a result of this place being pretty haunted.
I more mean either Deborah fixed her up, which is going to be massive amounts
there's
of scarring.
there from that, yeah.
No matter what, she's getting scarred. And actually, now that Talurra's arm is kind of back, kind of does a few rolls of it, and then goes to check out that torch.
I was gonna say, can we look at that cool
Yep,
thing?
you certainly can. The torch is there. Talurra picks it up, and Meriel kind of comes over to look at it as well. I'm assuming the rest of you kind of come over to the weird doctor guy, Dr. Under.
Yes. My name is Dil'xiri'ssur'a, but you can call me Deborah.
Greetings, Deborah. It's nice to meet you. I've met only a few of your species before. Unfortunately, because of what happened here, you won't meet any more here. There were a few stationed here. They came with some of the rocks we used to make this place. They called them home, so we let them live here.
What happened?
Whew. Before I start talking about that, I'm gonna need a drink. Let's stop
You
by
and me
somewhere, get a drink real quick. We can talk about it over some refreshments.
Talurra's going to snag that torch if she can.
Sure. Talurra, Meriel, you notice this is a severely modified plasma cutter. This plasma cutter does full damage to all weapons, objects, and rock. It does 2d6 plus 3 fire damage.
Jesus.
Cool.
And it does completely, ignores all resistances kind of stuff to objects and rock.
It's a siege weapon.
You also think you can make a weapon attack with this to sunder someone's weapon in half.
Okay.
All right, so you said it's 2d6. What are the other stuff for it?
2d6 plus 3, it does full damage to weapons and rock. And objects you're cutting through.
All right.
So it's got the siege weapon.
If they're a
trait.
worn object, it still counts as an attack. Yeah.
Was that Scotty?
So it's got the siege weapon trait. I don't know what's going on with my internet, but the
Mhm.
stream has been going pretty bad too.
Yeah, I've
It's-
been noticing that too.
It's chugging a bit. It's weird.
Anyway,
Why did I do that? Okay. All right. But that's all you see. The doctor goes to a nearby thumping club. He pushes a wall panel and the music turns off, and the lights go back to normal, like blue lighting. So everything kind of looks blue in this club. The club was called the Blue Club. You go in. There's some tables. He sits down, taps the table twice with his finger, and a robot walks over. Greetings, sirs and madams, and every other qualifying species. I am here to serve drinks. What do you wish? Whiskey. 3 shots on the rocks.
Talurra is just like the strongest thing I can safely consume.
I do have several dwarven spirits. That is the strongest known alcohol.
Get me one of those.
It looks over to you, Meriel.
I'll just take some water if that's fine.
Water. Looks over to you, Deborah.
I'll take golden dust.
It seems to stop for a minute as if thinking. Golden dust. Reference located. And for you, it looks over to you, Eisen.
Standing watched near the door, I'll be like, I'm good for right now, thanks.
It nods and rolls away behind the counter and begins prepping drinks. It brings out your water, Meriel, with ice in it. It brings out your a beer-looking substance for you, Talurra. It brings out the glass of whiskey with ice in it for the doctor under. And sets a drink in front of Deborah that looks like it has sparkling gold dust in it. If you need anything else, just call. And it rolls behind the bar. It has a single wheel on the bottom and a long, narrow, singular leg that went up to a small torso that said, "I'm here to help," on the
Deborah
torso.
dips a talon in the drink and then just like puts it in her mandibles to taste it.
It tastes like very heavily of cinnamon.
So it's not
Ah,
actual gold.
Sugar.
You do taste a small hint of gold flakes. You think that's what that powder is in it.
Hmm.
That's a Goldschlager. Nice.
The spell that can make me look young again requires gold dust. A lot of it. This is definitely nowhere near that amount.
Okay.
It's fine though.
It is gold dust. It is gold dust. How much gold dust does the spell need?
500 gold worth, which it consumes. Don't worry. That's very oddly
okay.
specific.
The amount of alcohol you would need for
Yeah,
that
you
is
don't think there's
absurd.
that much gold dust in this alcohol, but there's quite a bit here, but probably not that much. If you had another one of these drinks, okay, maybe 10 more of these drinks, you might be able to do it. The doctor kind of sitting with his glass
Construct.
goes,
10
okay.
more.
Affirmative. It begins prepping the drinks. And it, as you wait for your drinks to be prepared and brought over, the doctor explains what happened. So it was a routine day of the experiment. All of us logged in, did what we were supposed to. The experiment was supposed to be a social experiment. The rest of the experiments we did here involved exploring different parts of different types of planets, different genetics of different species we had located and found that we didn't have a home for. So we made their homes here. Lots of the species that are on the many biomes of this ring world are unique and rare. We haven't found too many of them in the verse, one of which we've never found anywhere else since. And we didn't put it here. the tree in the swamp. It's very strange. You should check it out sometime. It's worth looking at. He takes a sip of his whiskey. Kind of seems to... Then... I don't know how long it was ago. It's a bit difficult to tell, time-wise, when it happened. Because of that suit, I'd imagine. But these things showed up. Don't know what they are. I've never seen their like before, and we've scanned over 1,000 different species. I helped Dr. Tepesh develop some of her genetic splicing tools that she uses here. I'm a mechanical engineer by trade. Can fix just about anything you need fixed, the right way it's supposed to be fixed. These things showed up, legions of them. A Titan-class cruiser of some kind, big red one showed up. Had a marking on it like a white padlock. One of you knows what that is right away.
Yep. You can just hear Talurra sigh when she hears that and just takes a long drink from this bottle.
Do you know what
And
this is?
These things came pouring out of it. There was one of their number, bigger than the others, made of some black scale-like material, almost looked like chunks of obsidian. It was the only one that had a name, as far as I know. None of these things used any language I've ever heard, but they spoke one name. They would pull fire off of this creature and throw it at everyone, destroying buildings, burning things, doing a lot of damage to the city, which I imagine you fixed. It says looking over, the doctor says looking over at Overseer. Affirmative. All damage to the city was repaired within a few hours. And the people, no bodies were left after the attack. Yeah, that's what I thought. So as these things would kill us, they'd stick their tendrils and claws into the bodies and turn them into more of them. It's like they weren't here for anything else, just the people. After they killed all of everyone they could, they left. It was after I put the suit on that something weird happened. I suspect the suit's quantum entanglement somehow reflected off the tower. If we could find a way to shut off the tower's radios, we might be able to turn off what's happening here. I'm guessing that's why there's ghosts everywhere. He says, looking around at the bar where occasionally a ghost appears and is drinking a fictional drink and then disappears, which still unnerves the crap out of you.
Your guess is as good as mine.
It would make sense. The quantum resonance would bounce off the tower perfectly. If we could turn off the radio waves, we should be able to stop what's happening here and free all these people.
We were heading there next. We
Well,
only detected 2 life
Free their
forms.
souls. 2.
Yours. And another one at the tower.
Who else is left? No one else survived that attack. I went into the tower afterwards. Well, I tried to. That suit was difficult to try to navigate of my own accord.
Hello, kitty cat. The black cat. Background.
Oh.
Colliloquie or yeah.
Oh. But yeah, Talurra will just not. There's one out there. We don't know. We're heading, like you said, we're heading there next.
Well,
But
I don't suspect it's any of our number.
well, we'll find out soon enough. Just if it's not one of your number, be careful. It was Redlock that attacked this place.
If you wish.
That's what that symbol means.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Do you
wish.
think those things... Go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, I'm glitching out a little bit. I assume. On the recording, I'm going to sound fine.
Latency.
But the
Yeah.
Do you still have the mind of the metal machine you were in?
Its CPU should still be in the helmet.
I can ward it from being cursed again.
I don't think it was cursed. I think whoever made that suit made it with the intent for it to make a quantum jump. But it's not a spaceship. It can't make a quantum jump from a human-sized object. It's not stable enough.
Then why were you
You need
in
a
it?
large object to make a quantum jump. Hey, it was a suit of armor and we were being attacked by aliens. I'm a mechanical engineer. It's a battle suit. I assumed it would have helped me live. It turns out it did. Just not the way I intended.
Well,
And
we
I
can at
thank
least
you
count
for
that
not
as a blessing.
killing me.
Fair enough.
Anything else in the workshop that can help us live getting to the tower?
There's a few service tunnels that might take you past most of the ghosts.
That could be handy.
Do you know of anywhere where we could be safe for a rest?
Yeah, I know of a place. Shouldn't be any ghosts there either. Because it's soundproof.
I'm trying to think now.
He leads you out of
Deborah
the bar,
doesn't
down
have
the street.
anything to carry the 10 drinks. Except for one thing. She summons Mimos,
Her back.
and he opens his mouth.
Oh my god, just Pete. That's exactly what I was waiting for.
He's immune to poison, and he's not going to
You just
digest
Moss
it.
like a bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a homunculi. He's made out of clay.
Yep.
He just
He won't
uses
go-
his mouth like a bowl.
Exactly. And he just closes his mouth, and we
Just sloshing is her.
It's a sloshing sound heard from Mimas as he sloshes around.
Talurra keeps on drinking the alcohol that she was given. She is,
Yeah, the doctor took his whiskey with him.
yeah.
He
Did the
leads
part-
you down the streets to what looks to be, it says, Durbo's recording studio. There's like a picture of some blue-skinned goblin that's like making a bunch of weird symbols and standing around holding his hands up in weird ways. And as you come in, yeah, like that, Scott.
doing
And
blood
as
or
you
whatever.
come into as you come into the place, the place instantly seems like that weird, eerie, creepy sensation you were feeling. You don't feel it here. It feels gone. You see no ghosts in here, and the place is relatively quiet. There's a lot of stools and stands that sit around, and what looks to be like a little recording studio off to the left. You should be safe in here. This place is sound dampened. The quantum resonance won't get through the walls.
Well, that's good at least.
Talurra, you've been through a lot. I suggest that we take a rest.
I'd agree with that.
It looks down at arm with black scars. Looks down at other scars. Yeah.
Looks down with all the scars to actually the only scar Talurra has like a scar on her neck and the scar is along her arm now.
So are we like in a Faraday cage or something?
Something like that, yeah.
All right.
So
I'm gonna
Deborah,
get to sleep.
during this long rest, is not going to long rest. She's going to ritual cast Restore Youth spell, which is a casting time of 8 hours.
How many hours does that take?
8 hours.
Oh, nice.
Jesus.
Nice. Okay.
So she
So
pretty
Talurra
much
wakes up to seeing Deborah.
she pretty much morphs Mimos into this giant pool, and she's just bathing in this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, luckily for Talurra only needs a 4-hour sleep too because elf.
I'm out of spell slots, so it's a ritual cast.
Got it.
And I'll roll how many years I knock off.
This is gonna become Deborah's thing of like, I will get back all my years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a minimum of 13 years, so I gain 13 years.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh yeah, now that I've taken
Right.
a long rest, I actually
Anyone
can
do
go back
anything
to,
while you've long rested, or
I can go back to having 55 HP, not 45 HP,
That's helpful.
because I'm no longer affected by Deborah's thing.
Yep. I didn't take a long rest, mind you. I spent that whole time casting
Right.
that spell.
does anyone else do anything during long rest, or does everyone just long rest? Except Deborah, of course.
Nope.
She's
Long
long resting
rest.
in a way, just not mechanically.
Right. And you all seem to enjoy the calming peacefulness of this recording studio. Admittedly, the benches, chairs, and other things here weren't the best to sleep on or rest on, but it worked. You
I've
know, you
slept on
feel
worse.
more energized, and it definitely was better than the floor.
I think Talurra has definitely slept on worse.
Eisen, this furniture is still softer than most dwarven furniture, which is still
Rock
made out
solid.
of rock.
It's too porous.
All right.
And that was the long rest. Everyone feels more refreshed. You don't see any ghosts. You see ghostly activity outside. All sorts of crazy ghostly activity happens that walks past you, but no ghost looks into the shop or even acknowledges that it's there.
All right. So let's head to the tower now. Find
There's
our
a service entrance just outside here. It's disguised as a sewer. You should be able to
Perfect.
lead underneath the streets. There shouldn't be any ghosts down there. It'll get us really close to the tower, and there's a surface tunnel down there that we could rest in again if we needed to. It's
Well,
still going to
let's
be
hope.
a couple hours before we get to the tower.
All right. Well, we should get moving then.
You move through the out to the streets where there is just a throng of ghosts muttering about their business. It's very creepy. It's quite scary, and the ghosts sometimes pass through you, and it feels very, very uncomfortable and really, really cold. Like somebody left a fridge open and you walk into the fridge almost. You move into the service tunnels and things feel a little different down here. You still feel that weird, uncomfortable hauntedness to the whole place, but it doesn't seem to be as bad in the sewers, service tunnels, whatever you want to call them. These service tunnels look mostly mechanical in nature. You see no fluid waste anywhere. It's nothing that fancy. It's a concrete floor. It's a very square tunnel with lots of pipes overhead and random intervals going different places and throughout the streets. You think this is where a lot of the wiring that kept the city going is probably hiding. You move through these service tunnels. A lot of the service tunnels have like little service hatches and stuff that go up to different parts of the city, different buildings and different things like that. And different intervals of the pipes actually open up to reveal where the wiring of the city is and stuff, to do any repairs or upgrades to the wiring as may need.
Neat.
You move through these service tunnels for quite a long number of hours before you finally reach the service tunnel that Dr. Under stops at. Here, this will lead up to a garage. From here, this garage should allow you to get to the center of the city. I'll be in the garage. It's also protected just like the place was back there.
Sounds
If
good.
you need me, I'll be here. I won't be making that trip through the streets, though. There's entirely too many ghosts out there. However, you might need some things that are in this garage before you take off. So let's stop for a bit and armor up.
Sounds good.
You go up the service elevator or the service ladder into the garage. This garage is a very large building. Inside the garage, there's a lot of different mechs that you see are all about. These mechs are large-sized mechs. A lot of them look like construction mechs or something like that. And he leads you back to the back where there looks to be a series of combat mechs. I made some of these myself. I know it's maybe not the best, but you should get past most of those ghosts with it.
All right. So let's all get it. So is it like one big suit or is it like one small? It's like small.
There's a bunch of smaller ones that you can all just pick one.
Oh, hey, perfect. I've been in one of this, something like this before.
Dr. Under looks over at Deborah. I don't have any organic ones. Sorry.
That is
Although
okay.
if you're lucky, maybe you can find one that those creatures left behind. A few of them were using something looks to be like a living creature that they were standing in. Like a living mech. If you could find one of those, maybe you could hop into that along the way.
I'd recommend being careful of anything Redlock left behind.
Well, that's probably a true statement,
Understood.
given what they did here.
I'm gonna find
Given
little
what they did.
Deborah's room, and I'll be right back.
All right. Well, Deborah finds the little witch's room, the little witch's cauldron, as it were. You all pick out a suit and sort of armor up.
Yep.
Eisen, do you pick one as well? It looks as though you could get in them without even having to get out of your armor.
Hey, it's old Fallout power armor meets new Fallout powered armor.
Right. Pretty much. So the suits all fit over top, so you kind of get in the back and you armor up like this. You have your choice of large scale machine gun, large scale laser assault rifle, or some sort of energy grenade launching device as a weapon.
Well,
No BFG.
You don't see a mass energy cannon.
Mm.
You also don't think the Dungeon Master is going to give you one of those yet.
that's a level 10 thing, not a level 5 thing.
I didn't hear the word yet, so
Oh, let's be honest. Let's be honest. We would not be surprised at all if eventually we run into a BFG. And it's then used to murder us all.
I'll get the one that looks like the Doomslayer then.
Okay. You pick a combat green colored one that has a very large looking energy cannon on it.
Talurra's gonna grab one that has the grenade launcher on it.
Okay.
Well, there wasn't one with a chainsaw, so
You don't know if there's one, but the guy you're talking to is a mechanical engineer. He might be able to rig a chainsaw into it.
Ripping tearing.
Yeah.
Do you happen to make another one of those plasma cutters?
Boy,
Actually-
I wish I had a spare.
Actually, Talurra look and say, could you attach that to this suit?
Of course.
Hell yeah. Talurra will hand it to him then.
He rigs up a small attachment to the exterior of the suit, so it plugs into the suit and uses the suit's energy instead of its own.
Aw, yeah. Grenade launcher in one hand, plasma cutter in the other. It's time for some
Do
big.
any of the rest of you want another weapon? These suits can hold these two-handed rifles in one hand.
What do you got?
Laser swords, an energy chainsaw.
I'll take a laser sword.
All right.
getting energy Gatling guns.
Yeah. Do you want that instead of the cannon?
Yes.
Of course. He takes the cannon off of yours and puts a energy Gatling gun on the one arm, and then gives Meriel, yours has a laser sword in one arm, and what ranged weapon did you want in the other arm?
Sorry, what were the options?
Assault rifle, energy assault rifle, energy Gatling gun, or an energy cannon.
Do the energy rifle.
All right. And so yours has the energy sword in one hand and the energy rifle in the other one.
Maybe I thought you went the same way Elvis did.
I'm assuming we're rolling initiative or something?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. What I missed?
No, we're still in the nothing.
Still arming up.
Oh, what you missed was me laughing at my parents' misery of not knowing how to make popcorn.
Mm,
We shared stories about popcorn, chatted a bit. Everyone
I got
took a
some
brief
drink.
restroom break, got drinks,
oh,
built the
sorry.
Eiffel Tower.
Sorry.
I got some.
Little stuff.
Sorry, everyone watching. I'll have to cut that later.
Honestly, your stream broke, so
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on with it. I turned off like everything.
currently it's playing about.
Weird.
Currently, it's playing like half an hour ago. Content.
Oof.
I even refreshed it.
Oof.
Weird.
Weird.
Oh, there we go. Finally, Scotty and I are missing on the cameras.
Okay. Good God. Oh, man. Okay. Well, that is a flu for cat. Gosh. Has he gotten fatter or?
Probably.
Gosh, he looks colossal.
Oh, hi, kitty.
He's a very big
He
cat.
looks like, yes, he's a very big kitty.
Hmm.
That's Oliver.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got his butt right in your face. Cat butt.
Yeah.
Gross.
Man, 2 games in a row where cats have been brought up.
Yep.
At least this cat's not being put in a bag.
Yep.
Okay. Well, as everyone is armored up and ready to go, you look out the garage entrance towards your trip to the center of the city. The large open plaza surrounds the outskirts of the city. A low-cut grass covers a small fielded area between you and the central tower. This whole area is swarming with ghosts. Not 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, probably thousands of them. This armor and weapons you have should be able to slaughter your way through them. They all don't look peaceful. Many of them are banging on the tower or screaming or grabbing their heads and just like, none of them look peaceful. All of them are fairly aggressive. You're not sure the suits will survive the process, but you will definitely make the trip there. Okay, we're going to begin one of my, and Scotty has been through some of these before in my sci-fi campaigns. I like doing these. This is called an epic moment. So everyone is going to tell me what really badass thing you are going to do, and I'm going to tell you what you do on your way there. You won't have to roll initiative. You won't have to roll damages and stuff like that, but this will be an epic moment. So you get to basically tell me what really badass, awesome thing your character is going to do to get there, and we get to reenact that as I describe the scene. So, what's the plan?
Well, I know that Talurra picked the grenade launcher one. So definitely would try and take as big of the groups, many of the group, thin the groups out as best as possible from range. And if things get close, she does have a plasma cutter.
The organic thing, what all does that have?
There is on the way there, before you get to the swarm of ghosts, what looks to be a big stone sphere with like muscle arms, like actual muscle arms that lead down to these big clawed hands. One of the hands is covered in an odd purple flame.
Purple flame. Oh.
And the back of it looks like you could slide one of the stones out of the way and climb inside. You notice that because one of the stones is actually open. There is no red lock symbol on this anywhere or anything like that.
I try. I'm not proficient in pilot, so.
You get inside of this bio mech. And as you get inside and kind of close the door behind you, you feel a psychic connection to the mech, as if you're not really piloting it, more as you are communicating with it. With your psychic connection, you can pilot this mech.
Got in the mech, Shinji.
As you get into it, you notice the inside sort of illuminate, and what was once solid stone in front of you looks to almost turn into a crystal. So you can see perfectly clear in front of you.
Interesting.
The suit itself on the inside says something in a language you don't understand. Rundangram Octon was what you hear. The rest of you kind of hear that from the weird living suit thing. And as it gets inside, the front of it immediately like kind of goes like crystal in a weird fashion. And as it turns your direction, you can see Deborah is kind of almost like she's controlling it from the inside.
Translation: Thank you for activating the M101 main battle frame.
Basically.
So I'm Hammy from Overwatch. Got it. I pilot a mech ball.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it looks like a big sphere of rock
You are a
Right.
wrecking ball.
Oh, hey, it looks
that
like
has
this.
muscle arms on the outside of it, and it moves by kind of rolling. But as it rolls, the crystal of your center vision stays forward, and you basically walk on the inside of it to move it around.
It looks like the stream stabilized if you refresh.
Cool.
Hey.
Welcome back to stable streaming, everyone.
Yay! I just had to turn all the settings down.
Just in time for an epic moment. So, as Deborah gets inside her organic bio mech, you see the swarm of ghosts in front of you, nay, the horde of ghosts before you in the tower, sort of look your direction as the stone mech starts to roll around.
Let's see.
The butler that was following you around goes, "Well, it looks like as though you're about to have a lot of company. If you don't mind, I'm going to wait in the garage. I really don't think this unit is designed for that level of combat." The overseer butler that was following you around goes into the garage with Dr. Under.
I think I'll try to cause chaos in the horde. And I'll just make one of them. Do you mind? Hello. I'll make one of the ghosts roll Christmas saving throw.
Okay. What's the save?
It is 14.
Oh, well, it rolled a 14.
Cool.
But once I add the ghost's charisma, I get 13.
Oh. Well, in that case, I'm going to need you to roll a d100.
Ooh, boy. The red dice of doom say 38.
38. The ghost regards me with intense revulsion as if affected by the apathy spell.
Okay.
So it just wants nothing to do with me, I guess.
Yeah, it's like, ugh.
And
One of the ghosts kind of makes a really disgusted face and walks off.
And I continue making my weird chittering noises, aka my cackle. And I keep that going as long as possible.
All right. Do you test out what the mech's arms do?
Of course.
The claw arm looks exactly how you'd imagine. It claws and swipes at things within melee range. The flaming arm can throw fire at one of the ghosts or make a line of fire about 15 feet long in front of it, and you can move the line around.
I do the light of fire.
All right. And Talurra, you're going to ranged grenade fire from the back at groups, and if anything gets messy, move in with the cutter. Meriel, what is your epic moment we're planning here?
Let's see. I'm wondering if I could cause some chaos in somewhere in like the middle of the horde.
Mm-hmm.
Use my telestep to go into the horde wreck some shit and come back.
Right?
To,
You
to
feel
thin them
like
out in the middle.
you feel like this mech can actually phase with you and come back.
Cool. Then I'd like to start doing a little more damage ahead of the game so there's less to deal with later.
Got it. So a couple grenades fire off. You phase in where the grenades have already gone off and sort of clear up some of the damaged ones and then phase back out. All right, Eisen, what's the battle plan with the Gatling gun there?
Mordaka.
Well, you gotta go full heavy weapons guy and march forward with all the barrels spinning and letting loose a lead storm with the Red Alert 3 thing blaring into my head.
Yes. Oh my God, yes. That would be perfect. Okay, I like that. All right, you're a slow move forward. You're the pusher, as it were, and everyone else is kind of on the back. Deborah, you're going to kind of cover the front lines as things start to move towards the group.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. As your epic moment unfurls here, the ghost swarm moves towards you like water flowing down the street. The ghosts splatter and splash around, leaving just blobs of ectoplasm everywhere as grenades and a hail of gunfire from the Gatling gun and the fire from the flamethrower sort of scorched the just crap out of stuff. In between that, Meriel's jumping around and slashing and gunning things down with the laser sword and phasing back towards the group to recover. And as you begin moving towards the tower, this fight takes a while. These mechs take quite a beating in the process. About an hour of fighting later, you manage to slaughter your way through the throngs of ghosts, leaving behind you a literal lake of ectoplasm from the ghosts you had slaughtered. These mechs are covered in it, and they do not look like they're made to function under ectoplasm. So they are starting to fall apart. You sort of bail the mechs and fight your way past the last few of them into the front door. As you bail on the mechs and get into the front door of the lobby of the building, the mechs all kind of like simultaneously start to short circuit. A few of them explode, damaging the other ones, leaving behind just a group of you standing in the lobby. Talurra, before you hopped out of your mech, you unplugged the plasma cutter because it was just plugged into a slot on the side. You just unplugged it and ran inside, using it to cut through some of the ghosts on your way in. The front door was sealed, so you easily cut the chains that were on the front door in half through the door and just kind of kicked them in. As you did so, as you did so, you saw a series of like vaulted iron wall kind of come down behind the last of you as you come into the building. And then you hear a very familiar British voice. Ah, good. You've made it inside. The life form you detected is on the 3rd floor. Unfortunately, the radio tower you need is on the 170th. The elevator is currently working, thankfully. So you'll probably need that to get to the top floor, I would imagine. Right over here. A series of doors open, and then an elevator door opens in the distance.
Cool.
All right.
Head
Well,
that way.
Let's go find that person.
Mm-hmm.
As you kind of like wipe off the splattering of ectoplasm from your clothing on your way through the inner sanctum here.
I'll just try to digitate everyone clean.
Everything seems peacefully quiet. A welcome quiet after the hour of slaughter you just fought through. You're not really tired because you just kind of rested, but you're definitely like, whew, that was a workout. Like, definitely have broken
Got the
a
blood
sweat.
pumping.
Yeah, the blood's pumping. You broke a sweat, maybe.
Can't tell if that's sweat or ectoplasm.
Yeah, it's difficult to tell sometimes. And you make your way towards the elevator. Everything seems quiet, peaceful, almost too peaceful. But you don't get that eerie feeling in here. Something seems different. As you move upwards on the elevator, do you go to the life form first, or do you go to the top floor?
I think we best go to the life form first.
I agree.
Okay. You go to the life form. You go to the third floor. On the third floor, as the elevator doors open, you hear ding from the door as it opens. Sliding open, you see what can only be described as a menagerie of hacked equipment. Some things tied into things that shouldn't be. Things wired the way they shouldn't be. Stuff just electrically soldered and welded into things that don't make any sense. You would almost need some sort of technology check just to figure out what some of these objects were supposed to be. Some of them don't even look like they should work, and they're working. Sitting in a chair made out of scrap welded together is a kind of older looking gnome. He's kind of bald on the top of his head. He is sitting there with a large kind of pipe-like object in his mouth, kind of like this. Smoke trailing off of it, and he is sort of like just sitting in a chair, seemingly just watching a small video screen in front of him across the room. Attached to the video screen, however, in the back, you see a colander, 2 spoons, and a set of tongs, wired and fused together with some of the TV equipment. As the door opens, he looks your direction. Yeah? What do you want?
Not the kind of introduction we were expecting.
Yeah, well, you walked into my my living space here. What do you want?
Do you need help?
He looks around and looks back at you. No, everything's working just fine.
You're a strange person.
The name's Cliffy.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. I'm a mechanical engineer. I don't really know how I ended up here. I'm presuming some sort of disturbance. Maybe somebody activated a quantum field they shouldn't have. That's my guess.
Talurra just kind of nods. Yep, I can confirm that.
Well, that's why I'm here then.
All right. If you're good, we're going to go up and do some other stuff.
Yeah, all right. Well, if you need something fixed, I could probably hack it together for you.
All right. I'll go check on the map.
Judging from the rest of the equipment here that still seems to be working but is hacked together, you're fairly certain if this gnome fixes something, you're not going to know how it works ever again.
Talurra never knew how it worked to begin
looked
with.
into its technological construction.
I don't think any of us knew anyways, so.
Cliffy's special talent. Congratulations, you found the NPC Cliffy, and you've rescued the NPC Dr. Samson Unger. Dr. Samson Unger can repair any object that's broken the way it's supposed to work. Cliffy can very quickly fix something. However, in order to use it, you need a technology check to figure out how it works, unless you ask Cliffy to turn it on.
Oh, hey, we got the two ship repair people. We are going to put them in the same room and see the fucking chaos that causes. Because that is going to be hilarious.
Pretty much what would happen. Cliffy has a unique ability to make something function again, even if it was broken, with any part that's lying around. However, if he fixes it, it requires a technology check in order to use it, if you're not Cliffy.
All I'm picturing is the Pacific Rim, the 2 scientists. That's all I'm picturing. Is just the one like doing everything exactly by the book. The other person's like, I don't give a fuck. I'll make it work.
Yes, pretty much.
Perfect. I've recently watched Pacific Rim, so my brain is just going to all of that.
Got it. Okay.
I love that movie anyway, so.
It was a good movie. It was a very good movie. All right. You take the super, super long elevator up. And this elevator ride is relatively quick, but still pretty long elevator ride. You're going up 170 floors. As imagine some of you have probably gone up a long elevator before. Maybe not one that goes up 170 floors, but it's quite a long elevator ride. And quite a bit of distance later, you arrive at the top floor. The top floor of this building has many different dishes and towers kind of off of the sides of the top of the building. From here, a skylight or sky view looks through crystal clear solar paneling, crystal clear solar windows, some kind of solar window, perhaps you think, that looks straight out towards the sun, because you're now on the middle of the ring, kind of looking towards the sun. So it's a nice, bright, shiny sunlight permanently illuminating this whole upper floor. The natural lighting in here is bright and brilliant and wonderful. Talurra, it's incredibly bright in here.
This.
You really hate it. It's very much daylight. You
guys have to deal with everything. I can't see shit.
Talurra looks relatively blinded, as you would expect a drow to be.
Talurra steps back into the elevator.
Okay, bye.
I'll just be in here.
It feels more comfortable in here, but there's still a lot of sunlight.
Yeah, but it's at least tolerable in there.
Right.
She puts her back to the wall that the sun is coming from, so she's just looking at the wall of the elevator.
Got it. Okay.
Hesitating, Deborah takes a step in, and then another step, and keeps going.
The whole upper floor here looks relatively abandoned. You don't see anyone or anything here. There's a large set of controls all around the entire room, and one central control panel in the middle of the room.
Anyone know how to work it?
Don't look at me.
As you say that, you hear from... We'll go there. You hear from to your left as you walked in, you hear the voice of the gnome. I haven't quite figured out how to turn it off myself, but I could probably break it.
Let's not break things yet.
I mean, we can break it. I'd rather turn it off.
I have a question. What is everyone's tech roll?
I consider mine to be a -5.
Yes, I know that much.
It's
Because
it's a straight
I'm
0.
willing to hazard a guess that Talurra has the highest tech roll of this group right now.
It is intelligence based, so
Yeah,
flat
that's
roll.
why. And that's why Talurra has a +5 to hers.
Do you have any tech roll at all, Eisen?
Don't think so.
Okay.
Talurra, then
Meriel, what did you say yours was?
A very respectable +1.
Got it.
So you just hear Talurra just. It seemed like when they said it, Talurra just, fix it. Just kind of walks out, stumbles around a little, clearly can't see pretty much anything, and she tries to walk towards the thing.
By the way, Cliffy is actually standing in the room. You didn't see him use the elevator, and you don't know how he got up here.
I mean, Talurra just assumes she can't see shit. He was up there with them. And yeah,
does my holographic tablet keep you from having to leave the elevator at all? I don't know exactly what it does or what it holds, but if it keeps
just
the light,
all kinds of porn. It's just an absurd collection of porn.
You don't know if anything you really could use other than like a dark colored umbrella would really provide shade for Talurra from the
and Talurra's just kind of doing
this,
like hand on the forehead.
yeah,
shading her eyes as best as she can as she walks towards the thing, and tries and sees if she can figure out how to shut it off.
Okay, technology check.
That is a nat 20, so 25.
A nat 20 sounds like you definitely figure it out pretty quickly.
You take a giant club and you beat it to death.
I don't need clubs. I got these.
Yeah, you flip several switches and then turn a couple knobs, and you hear a really loud.
And pretty much as fast as as soon as she got there, she then bolts as quick as she can back to the elevator.
Bye.
Is it off? I don't hear noise anymore.
You don't hear anything anymore. You don't hear that strange noise that was coming from outside. You don't feel that strange feeling anymore. It's instantly gone.
I only can see spots right now.
Do any of you look out the window towards the city?
Yeah, why not?
Sure.
As you
It's
look
on
towards
fire.
the city, you see millions and millions, nay, perhaps a billion, ghosts sort of rise up out of the city towards the sun, as if they've suddenly been freed from something that kept them there. By the way, you all gain enough XP to level up
Hooray!
Ding.
twice.
Ooh.
Yay!
Hooray!
Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
I will put it in the Discord.
I assume that's where
Oh,
you
yeah.
wanted us to end for the night.
We can end there. It's a good spot too.
I think it's a perfect spot to end
Yep.
with Talurra being blinded by the light,
Woken up by a douche in the middle of the night.
wrapped up like a deuce. God,
All right.
holy! I am still genuinely surprised that I have the highest tech roll of this group of 4. I have no I only have a +5 to it because I'm smart as hell.
Hello, I'm a witch.
Yeah.
All right, I put it in the Discord as well. I'll let somebody who can pin stuff pin that to the
I can
Discord
pin
so
it.
we can see that it's.
Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. Pin message. Oh yeah, pin it.
All right. And as you free the ghosts from their prison, you feel a wave of like positive energy sort of wash over you. Like what you did was a really, really, really good thing. You may all double level. You don't necessarily have to do it right now. You can if you'd like to, but
I
You may
feel nothing.
do so before our next session. We will stop there. So before we say goodbye to all you space cowboys out there, we'll get plugs from everyone. First, Eisen. Do you have any plugs?
Just the one that go into the walls.
All right. Meriel.
Just the ones I usually have. If you want to, you can follow me at Colliloquie on Twitter and Instagram. Commissions are open, just a little slow going with some life events going on. So please have some patience. I'll get some stuff done.
All right. Talurra.
Well, I said this earlier today, but on the same channel, but tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. EST, Hera and I are going to be playing Hera's the GM for it, in a Masks game, Starfall Academy. It's a blast. My character did literally nothing last session. It was really funny. And in the last session we left, our group it was a literal cliffhanger. And by cliffhanger, I mean one of our party members was falling through the sky at from a really high altitude.
Ooh.
Because they had been on a date, and their date turned out to have to be a part demon. The demon flew away. They decided, I'm going to grab a hold of them, and they went flying with the demon.
Uh-oh.
And then the demon turned back into their date, and now they're both falling from the sky. I mean, and if it was only the one person following, the player, it would be fine. They're what's called a bull in Masks. They can take the hit. It'll hurt, but they can take it. The other person definitely can't take that hit. And that's it for me.
Last but not least, Scotty.
Yes. Thank you for watching. We have a lot of games on this channel, and I thank you everyone for their support for watching it and throwing bits down and whatever else. I have on my Twitter profile the flow page that has all my social media links, including my stuff that I've created on the DMs Guild for D&D, the 5th edition, and my Fiverr profile, which has all of the gigs that I have available, which include illustration and graphic design kind of jobs. And if there's something that you need in those fields of specialties that aren't listed on there, let me know and I'll make one just for you. Besides that, I think the next game on this channel will be Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we will be continuing our Mists of Kryn's Valley game, where the group having more fun in the lanes of Barovia. So, yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, stay tuned next time and find out what happens on the next episode. Until then, see you all later, Space Cowboys.
Bye.